What is up, you amazing people? It is Nima here, and today I just kind of want to talk about some games I've been playing. At the same time, I wanted to ask you guys to let me know what games you've been playing. There's been a lot that's come out within the last year, and it does seem like right now is sort of a good time to catch up on some games, while we're also anticipating the release of new games. Something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, I believe that's the name of it. But anyway, it can go one or two ways, and it seems like it's good to kind of hedge your bets. Yes, I will probably pre-order that game. I will review it, I suppose. But I don't know if that's going to be a game I'm going to want to keep playing. If I can tell by some of other releases by Ubisoft, it's hard to say. Assassin's Creed in general, I don't know. But there has been some decent Ubisoft games. And in fact, one of the games I've been playing recently is a Ubisoft game that I sort of just kind of written off and didn't really expect much out of. But it's a game called Riders Republic. And oh my god, this game is so much fun. There is some issues with it, without a doubt. I think most people would say it's got bugs, it's got some issues. It had, I believe, a lot of microtransactions or sort of that live service aspect, but most of that I think is gone now. At least that's been my experience. If you played it before and there was microtransactions, let me know, because I'm really curious why this game didn't take off. There is a lot of different sports you can compete in. Most are in the forms of like racing and stuff like that, where it comes to like skiing or riding your bike or snowboarding. But there are also like super extreme sports, and you can compete in like wingsuit racing or whatever that's called. I don't know what the actual sports name is, but there is a lot of different aspects to this game. It's massive just by how much content there is, how many races there are, how many tracks there are. One of the cool things is like a big event where everybody uses their favorite mode of transportation, and there'll be dudes like wingsuiting past your head as you're on your bike or your snowboard, or of course there's also motorized things as well. I haven't gotten that far into the game. I'm still kind of on the bike stuff, but there is a lot to this game, and I'm really just surprised that it kind of went under the radar, so to speak. And then I looked up reviews for it, and it got really good scores for reviews. So I just don't know why this game didn't hit or why it's not popular, but I picked it up, I think on just PlayStation Plus. Honestly, I don't even think I paid for it. But the game's really cool. If you do have a chance to check it out, you should definitely do that. Another game that I've been playing that I totally missed, and I did have to pay for, although it was on sale, is RoboCop Rogue City. Now, this is one of those series that I just missed. I was too young for. I had no idea what RoboCop was, and honestly, the idea of a mechanized cop scares the crap out of me. I mean, honestly, AI taking over, robots, cops, like all over the place, it's terrifying. Until I actually checked out the game and understood the backstory, and it's actually really cool. The one thing I will say that I do like about it is they don't really actually go into the backstory of RoboCop. Now, I would personally prefer it because I don't know it, but I appreciate that because most people who are gonna want to play RoboCop already know everything about RoboCop, or at least a good chunk of things about RoboCop. They've seen the movies, they're a fan of it, and so I do like how they don't just rush you forward. It's sort of like a Spider-Man experience where every Spider-Man movie for a while was just his origin story over and over again. So I was kind of cool with the fact that they didn't do that. But ultimately, what I found even more than just some sort of story arc was the actual gameplay. The gunplay itself is incredibly fun. There's a lot of different guns. It's just really fast action, sometimes over the top gameplay with a lot of crazy enemies and a lot of crazy events that happen in the game. I don't want to give too much away. It is a relatively short game, I will say that, but for an FPS, it's just sort of how they are. Most of them don't go over like 12 to 15 hours, and honestly, would we want them to? But there is a lot here, and I love a first-person shooter that doesn't just focus on multiplayer, and I actually care about the story and the experience that you're gonna go through going through the campaign. I could definitely tell that that was their main focus, and I'm here for it. Another game that I've been playing that I've actually talked about already is Monster Hunter Wilds. As I've said before, this is one of those games that you could just sort of play for an incredibly long time, and yes, I have gotten through the story, and I'm just enjoying the grind. And it's crazy just how fun that really is. I mean, I know that I've spent hours going and tracking different monsters, trying to collect different gear from them or their body parts so I could harvest and craft them into gear, but then ultimately losing. Like, taking it through the 3 deaths and realizing like I've spent hours trying to kill this one monster and I still haven't. But then going back and trying to re-strategize. Okay, maybe I'm using the wrong kind of weapon. Maybe I need to worry more about my elemental protections. Maybe I need to use a different weapon or a different technique in general. I don't know. I just appreciate the game for that aspect. Preparation, strategy, items, all of that goes into it, and it's just incredibly fun. It's been one of those things that I will end up spending way too much time doing, and I'll start playing at maybe 10, and then it's 2 o'clock before I even know it. Most of my night's already gone because I've just been hunting monsters in Monster Hunter Wilds, and honestly, it's great. It's just trying to review other games doesn't give me much time, and so we have a situation like this where I'm still just playing the hell out of the game, even though I've already reviewed it and technically beaten it, but I cannot put it down. Another game that I have reviewed already and have been playing a lot of is Suikoden. I did talk about Suikoden 1 and 2, and I did get through Suikoden 1, and now I'm in Suikoden 2, which is arguably, like I said, my favorite Suikoden. And I don't know if it's Suikoden or Suikoden. I always said Suikoden, but I've heard everyone say Suikoden, so whatever it is. But anyway, the second one I've been playing and just getting to that story, but also kind of taking my time to just enjoy it since I did get the review up and I don't feel like I have to rush through this one. But ultimately, man, it's just bringing so many of those member berries back. I'm just so appreciative that they did such a great job with this and they thought about bringing it back because it's a piece of gaming history that I think most people wouldn't be able to play just because of how expensive the discs are and how hard they are to come by, and that you couldn't even download them on like an eShop or anything like that. So that's also been great. Another game that I've been playing, and this one sounds weird, is called Pro Wrestler Story. I picked it up on the Nintendo Switch and I was going to review it, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like an easy game to review because most of it is just like resource management and managing your wrestling team and making sure that they get their training in and you do promotions for them. Then they go and fight, and with that money that you get, you can upgrade your gym or their rooms because they have individual rooms at the gym. Upgrade their abilities and their skills. This isn't like a super in-depth game or anything, so don't be thinking like there's just so much customization and a lot of complexity. No, it's relatively surface level, but what is there is actually kind of enjoyable for, 30 minutes at a time or so. And so I have been just raising my stable, if you will, and getting higher in that wrestling world, and it's just, it's kind of fun just to play here and there. I've definitely been playing it mostly at dance class when my daughter has tap dance, and I'll just sit out there because it's only like 45 minutes, and that's like almost perfect to just get like a couple matches in and to raise my team level a little bit. But I don't know, it's weird, but I enjoy it. Another game I've been playing that I've been thinking about reviewing, and I probably will, but is Persona 3 Reloaded. I know that this game came out a while ago, but I still think this is one of those games that is going to go to the Switch, and there's a number of people who might be interested in my thoughts or a review of it in general, and so far I have to say that I love it. It is not... Okay, I thought maybe they would put a little bit more emphasis in like the Persona 5 world than they did the Persona 4, but it is a little bit more Persona 4 than Persona 5. If that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't to most of you, but those of you who are familiar with the Persona games, hopefully that will make sense, who knows. But for me, I have really enjoyed it. One of the things I have not been able to get past is how they call their personas. Is a very messed up kind of action that I will put on here, but just be aware that there's a trigger warning to it because there's a literal trigger in the action that they do to call their personas. I will say, knowing the outcome though, it does look pretty badass at the end of the day, but no, it's really fun. It is very much a Persona game where you run through dungeons, fight bosses, fight enemies, look for chests. Ultimately, you're fighting evil, and again, some of the big bosses, and getting through these dungeons will unlock more dungeons. Then you also have like the other aspect of it while you're in school, which is like the social aspect, the friends, girlfriend, all of that kind of stuff. All of that is still very much in the game. And if you enjoyed any of the other Personas, you're going to enjoy this one. It's just as good, if not better, than I would say half of them out there. Is it up to 4 or 5? For me, not yet, but who knows? I'm only maybe 25% through, so still pretty early on for me to talk about like how good the game is, or even really get too in depth with the story, because as a lot of you guys know, with JRPGs, stories usually don't even start until like halfway through. That's why they are like 100 hours long. All right, and finally, the last game that I have on rotation, I think is going to come as a little bit of a shock to some of you guys. I know it did to me, honestly, the fact that I was playing it and have been playing it as much as I have and been enjoying it, but it's Sims 4. I don't know why. I just started booting it up one day and just thought like, oh, I'm gonna and go back to this experience. I enjoyed it when it came out, and even a year or two after it came out, and they did some of the DLCs and some of that stuff. I would play it, and I did like it, but I thought, man, that was years ago. Why would I still have that same enjoyment? But of course, there's been new DLCs, and a lot of them are on sale, and so maybe I wanted to buy some of them to just, I don't know why, but I did, and I've been putting way too much time into Sims 4. Again, it's a really fun game, honestly. If you know anything about Sims, like, you just know how this works. Like, you create a character, you interact with your environment, with different people, you get a job, your performance is something you have to kind of worry about. You make your character happy to make their performance better and to make their life better. I don't know why I enjoy it, okay? Like, at the end of the day, there's so many other games that I have that I could be playing that are a lot more complex and a lot more deep. But for some reason, I've just been enjoying this. And it's one of those things that I will just put on while I'm watching a movie or TV or something. And it's more like a kick back, relax kind of experience, more like a cozy experience, except for my thing is I got tired of crafting all the time and collecting crap in the cozy type game. So for me, this was like a lazy or cozy style game that I just have enjoyed playing while I was in the background. Honestly, you don't want to roast me for it. I'll take it. Like, I deserve it. It's definitely one of those like guilty pleasure things, but I don't know. It's been fun, honestly, and it's just something I enjoy to kind of wind down with. I'll put it that way. Anyway, let me know what you guys are playing right now. I'm incredibly interested, and let me know what games you guys are looking forward to. I will have another video up in a day or two. I'm really trying to push out as many as I can right now. We're kind of on a special mission right now that I don't want to talk about, but just know that it's there. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, please, because I really need the channel to grow. I really do not want to start a Third Eye Blind cover band and tour the Southwest. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. Love y'all. Bye-bye.